This is Dwayne out in Boston area. We're working with our third-party consultant on water pressure testing for a window installation. The owner has hired a third-party consultant to perform this testing. As you can see, we built an enclosure around the window opening itself that is actually sealed. You can see all the joints have been taped. You can see a piece of poly on the window itself. And we have a machine hooked up to it with hoses that's actually sucking the air out of the window and actually putting it to test under dynamic pressure. So we'll run water for 15 minutes and see if we have any water that is pulled through the system. And per the test specifications, a failure is if water is on emulsion, about a tablespoon or about an ounce of water. And if it breaks the plane, that's when it's a failure for the system. Well, let's see what our results are here. So you can see we have a rack here attached to a lift with multiple heads on it. You can see the intent is once ready for the test, we'll put the rack itself a foot away from the surface being tested and let the water go for 15 minutes. As part of the rack itself, you can see there's a meter that will set to the specified water pressure for the test, usually around 35 psi, and again that's going to simulate the actual real-world scenario where a design pressure for the assembly. But again, this test will be run for 15 minutes, and we'll see if there's any water that comes in on the building. And again, per the standards, water is allowed to come in if it hits emulsion less than an ounce of water, which is roughly size of a quarter. And if it stays on emulsion, it's considered a pass per the test standards. But if it breaks the plane or if it drops down the emulsion, that's when it's considered a failure. One thing we want to make sure is that we review those requirements with the owner and the design team prior to testing, so there's no confusion on what that standard is, because sometimes there's written in specifications that if any water comes on the inside, it could be considered a failure. So we want to make sure everyone's on the same page.